Excuse me. Excuse me. What in the world are you thinking?
Mean Gene, the first thing you need to do is to tell these people to shut up if you want to hear what I gotta say.
More down the rabbit hole of this sport we call professional wrestling. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am KMB, the sexy ninja for C Plus Studios and a Paper Saber universe. I am dog ass tired. I got up super early this morning. I don't know why I woke up. I slept terrible, and I was like, you know what? With such a big week for professional wrestling itself, WWE, WrestleMania weekend, all this stuff, I decided to watch NXT, and going forward, I will watch the Black and Gold brand again. You know, this is the show for March 28th, 2023. Booker T and Vic Joseph on commentary. And before I jump right on in, the reason I haven't been covering NXT is because the 2.0 version kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. And I know they went back to the Black and Gold brand. Shawn Michaels is in charge down there of what's going on with all these stories and this big pay-per-view they have, Stand and Deliver. I'm not in the dark about a lot of these things. I'm not. I see them on news channels I follow. There's a lot of the talent here that I really do like. See, I can't even talk. But I was like, you know what? I want to jump in. I just want to see, add this to the list. And honestly, I'm glad I did, because this gives me something to do. This gives my brain another relaxation of watching pure professional wrestling. And it was very enjoyable. They had they start to show off with the last chance qualifier battle royale. Whoever's going to win faces Wesley for the North American Championship. It can be a big fatal 5-way. This was just a fun. I like battle royales, you know, and that is people you see there like Apollo Crews, Jinder Mahal. I'm like, oh yeah, this is where they're at, you know. And I gotta say, I know dit squiddly about any storylines going in, just from what I've seen over on, you know, on the TikToks, on the Twitters, on what Dave Meltzer reports, on what other things, and Bleacher reports. But I jumped in and I was just like, okay, you know what? Let's start this off. Axum. Well, I got it earlier. Well, he won. He's gonna be part of this. Huge talent. But I really like the little things in between the shows, like in between the matches, was pretty deadly as they're doing preview shows for Stand and Deliver. You know, I was just like, I was like, bring it on, man. I really like Pretty Deadly. I've always liked Pretty Deadly. And one of the biggest reasons, too, that I feel like I have to give NXT a chance is just because I listened to a great interview with the man that's going to be taking on Braun Breaker at Stand and Deliver, Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Hayes is tremendous. I think I've done a couple NXT reviews. I think I did Worlds Collide, but Carmelo Hayes has been on my list of dudes that I really think is like super talented. And he said something that kind of like made me like, you know what, let me take it, let me try it, let me get NXT back in my blood, you know, because NXT was so precious to a lot of hardcore wrestling fans, because it was a place we went to watch, and like Adam Cole was there. Everything we loved about professional wrestling was in NXT when it was in Triple H's hands. And then when Vince McMahon came in and he tore it all down, and he's like, add color, add this and that, NXT 2.0. Carmelo Hayes mentioned this in his interview with Busted Open. He's like, yeah, he goes, I was at the tail end of the Black and Gold era. And he goes, and then 2.0 happened, and everybody wanted 2.0 to fail. They wanted, you know, and I was like, yeah, that's true. I for one was one of those people. I was just like, man, I can't, you know, look at this. This isn't NXT, you know. And then they took away the special, like how the arena looked and everything like that, and made it generic. And I really missed the vibes of what they had before, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I put on my blinders to it. I was like, you know what? I'll just stick with the main roster for now. But, you know, you hear these rumblings, and hearing Carmelo Hayes talk about that, I was just like, man, you know what? These guys are working so hard down there, and they are trying to entertain us, and they're every Tuesday. I don't have anything going on Tuesday nights. Just pull my head out of my ass and let's watch some NXT. You know, that's all we got to do. There was a great thing here with HBK and Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne, she collapsed in a match. I knew about that. I saw the highlights and stuff like that, and Booker T jumping off the commentary table and running to her aid and stuff like that. And now at Stand and Deliver, they were gonna crown a new women's champion in a ladder match, which is gonna be crazy because the lineup is insane. But there was this great scene, and my daughter watched this with me, and it's between HBK and Roxanne, and she's talking about dealing with anxiety is driving her insane. It cripples her. She can't let it cripple her. You know, she has to face it head on. And it really resonated with me. I'm just like, yeah, you got to fight through that sort of thing, and you know. Just seeing the way HBK is playing off her and giving his emotions like a dad and stuff like that. It was just really incredible. You know, even though it was backstage, it was in his office, I really did enjoy it. And my daughter's sitting there, she goes, "Hey, Daddy, I feel like that sometimes, you know, it's okay, you know." And she goes, Roxanne says, "I have to fight." And I was like, yeah, that's right, kid. You know, that's right. You know, you have to battle through these things, and that's why I really enjoyed that. That's why I shared it on TikTok, I shared it on our YouTube and this and that, because hopefully somebody out there is watching and they see that and they understand if you're going through anxiety or going through all these mental things, you know, it's going to be okay. And I like the fact that HBK gave her back and it's like, yeah, you make sure you check up with all the doctors and stuff like that, but you know, you're in the ladder match, you're gonna defend your NXT Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver. And I was just like, man, that's just one of those great moments in a show, you know, one of those heartfelt moments that I was just like, damn, fuck yeah. Tyler Bate with versus Von Wagner. Tyler Bate's great, man. I really wish that I don't know. I like Braun Breaker. I do. I followed him here and there. Sometimes when he went into match, especially when he went against Tyler Bate, when Tyler Bate was the UK champion, and they shut that down and they had a match. I saw that match. I was like, man, I wish Tyler was given both titles, you know, and you know when they unified them and stuff like that. But Tyler Bate is tremendous, and this whole Chase U thing, I can't wait to see them face off with Schism at Stand and Deliver. And like I said, I know shit about the storylines going on right now on what I see on paper. And of course, like the Roxanne stuff is out there just because it was huge. You know, she collapsed after her match, after her win, and she went in an ambulance, and it was a big deal. And I saw the highlights, you know, when they're like, catch up with NXT and see what happens, you know. But Tyler Bate for the win. Von Wagner, tremendous. They had Elektra Lopez versus Valentina Feroz. This was a good match, man. The women's divisions, like I was just like, damn, this is great stuff, man. Like, why can't? And I will tell you this right now, because I'm glad I recorded this on DVR. I was just like, you know, because after I came back home, I was like, oh shit, you know, after hearing that interview with Carmelo Hayes, I went in and I was like, I better record NXT going forward so I can watch these shows. And I'm glad I did, because on the Hulu edition, they take out everything. They take out a lot of good stuff that you want to see. Like Tyler Bate and Von Wagner was not on there. Elektra Lopez versus Valentina Feroz is not on there. Eddie Thorpe versus Miles Bourne is not on there. Even Drew Gulash, my Drew Gulash man, Gulak, versus Hank Walker wasn't even on there. And I was just like, and you know, they nitpicked everything. And it's just how they do with Monday Night Raw. And this, I feel now that we're in this era of Shawn Michaels and Triple H being in charge of these things, you can't miss a minute of television. So that's why I was very sad and very happy that I actually recorded NXT on the DVR, because we're seeing these great matches, you know, and these matches shouldn't go unwatched. And then there's NXT Level Up, which it's another factor that goes against Rampage, and it was something that was created by Vince and Bruce Pritchard, and I just don't like the logo. But it's another thing to give a chance. There's talent on there that they're trying to build up. There's talent all around. It's like AEW Dark. You got all these people in these athletes, and you're looking for who's next to go up the roster. I feel like Tyler Bate should go up. I feel like Drew Gulak deserves another shot at the main roster, and after WrestleMania, all bets are off. I know Braun Breaker is probably going to move up. If not Braun Breaker, move up Carmelo Hayes. Like, there's a lot of great stories you can tell with him and who he could face, like dream matches galore. So there was a last chance opportunity, the family versus Brooks Jensen and Josh Briggs. Apparently there's something going on with the current women tag team champion. And like I said, this was all new, and it was funny is like when I watch stuff, especially when I watch this show, it made me go down the rabbit hole of being like, okay, why is this? Why do we care about this? Why do we care about that? It makes me go down, and I watched the previous episode beforehand, and I'm like, okay, this is making sense now because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And all the Pretty Deadly preview show stuff was fantastic, and I love that. And you've got to stand and deliver with the hand poses and stuff like that. But this match was fun. The family versus Brooke Jensen and Josh Briggs. I had a lot of fun with this match. I had a lot of fun with the end too, with Grayson Waller. I like Grayson Waller. I know of Grayson Waller, and I wanted him to beat Braun. Like everybody that's been up against Braun Breaker, I was like, okay, this guy, Grayson Waller. And I know at Vengeance, at the end of the show, Braun Breaker won in that steel cage match, and Carmelo Hayes comes out, and I remember seeing that moment and being like, damn, that's going to be awesome. So, and I believe the pay-per-views are like 10 a.m. my time here in Arizona. So I'm just like, hey, wake up, dust the crusties off my eyes, watch some other wrestling, catch up on SmackDown, and then I go right into a pay-per-view, stand and deliver. I'm just like, damn, this weekend's gonna be a damn good weekend, man. But Grayson Waller signs a contract for an unsanctioned match with Johnny Gargano. I'm thrilled. I don't even need story with that. I know this has been a rivalry for a little bit, but I was like, I just want to see these two kick the shit out of each other, So overall, I really did enjoy the show. There's a lot of stuff I'm still learning, a lot of stuff I'm going down the rabbit hole. But going forward, though, I know this is a great setting point. If you're somebody that's a casual wrestling fan and whatnot, I would suggest, like, hey, after WrestleMania, you should go check out. It's kind of like a reboot and a reset for stories. So after WrestleMania, we're building to the next pay-per-view, but the bigger stories are going to SummerSlam, Survivor Series. It's Royal Rumble. So I always feel like after a big pay-per-view like that, especially with the main four, they always reset the story. So here we are. We'll catch you up a little bit, but here you go. It's just like comic books, And I feel like after Stand and Deliver, after WrestleMania, we're gonna get a point where we're like, okay, now we're here. Now let's move on. Good point to jump on. So that's why I was like, let me check this out. Let's check out NXT. I would give this show about a 3.5 out of 5. I was entertained. There was great stuff that I watched, especially HBK and Roxanne. I feel like that was the meats and potatoes, even though it wasn't that long. I feel like that was the meats and potatoes right there of Roxanne getting that chance. And Indy Hartwell winning against Sol Ruka. And Ivy Nile. Indy Hartwell is somebody that I've been rooting for a while, just because I think she's tremendous. I think she's really, really great, and I want her on the main roster. She's pretty much a vet now down there in NXT, so her being added to that big match, that ladder match, these women are going to tear the house down. I'm looking at the Stand and Deliver card. We got the NXT Championship, Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes. I think that's going to be great. I'm rooting for Carmelo to win. No offense to Braun, but if Carmelo wins, I know that Braun Breaker is going to be going up. We got the NXT Women's Ladders match. Roxanne Perez is going to put up her title in a ladder match against Zoe Starks, Gigi Dolan, Tiffany Staten, Lyra, Valkyria, and Indy Hartwell. These ladies are going to tear it apart. I just feel it. And another person that watches NXT more than me, because it's funny, is when I went to go look, because I went to go look at the Hulu I share an account with. Big Daddy, and I saw that, I was like, I see all these episodes, played, done. I'm like, there's Big Daddy. There's Big Daddy watching his NXT, and he's been telling me, big head boy, you need to watch NXT. You need to. I was like, yeah, he's like, I don't know. Crying your Cheerios, big head boy. Shout out to Big Daddy. Go show him some love, man. Big Daddy Forever podcast is out there. He dropped some great episodes. Nothing but love and respect. Once we get all our schedules figured out, I know we're gonna do a social event. The social event will never go away, so that's gonna be coming down the road. Go check out that Sexy Ninja Cast. And I'm going off track here. Then we got the NXT North American Championship, Wesley versus Dragon Lee. Axum. I said his name earlier before I started the show. JD McDonough and Dragunov. I'm sorry, folks. Like I said, I got up super early, and the first thing I did was put on wrestling, and the wife was like, "Really?" She's trying to sleep. She's hearing booms and crashes and hearing promos and stuff like that. Then I got the NXT Women's Tag Team match. James and Haley are the champions versus Isla Dawn, Alba Fire. And then there's another match called Winner Gets Control of Chase U. I'm going to look more into that because I don't know what Chase U is, but I'm like, okay, bring it on. I want to see all these talented people, and they're facing Schism, a faction that I'm just like, oh, these guys are deadly, So I'm all for it, man. Then you got the unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller. It's going to be a hell of a pay-per-view. And I really can't make my picks here because I feel, as somebody who is not knee deep into, I can give my opinions. I can give that. I just watched one show, don't know what the hell's going on, got to go down some rabbit holes. Then I get to myself freaking oh, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, okay. And I feel this is a new route and opportunity to learn, to find more talent out there and get some great matches, man. Like the NXT Tag Team Champions, Gallus versus the Creed Brothers, and Tony and D'Angelo. Stacks. You got such it's gonna be huge, and I know the Creed Brothers are great. I would love to see the Creed Brothers move up to the main roster. I've seen these guys go at it. I want to see Pretty Deadly move up because they've had some great matches. So I'm back into the black and gold pool. I'm happy to be here. I just turned on the jacuzzi, and I'm letting it settle. So NXT, baby. So expect a NXT podcast every. After Tuesday, now my week's filled up. I got Raw on Mondays. I got NXT on Tuesdays. I got Wednesday Night Dynamite. Then Thursdays is Ring of Honor. And then Fridays, Rampage and SmackDown. And now it's going to be we got the Super Card of Honor coming up. So then we have WrestleMania. So my week is stacked. I hope your week is stacked. I still got some WWE 2K23 to play. Thank you for watching my Roman Reigns versus John Cena. More of those to come. Thank you for checking out the TikToks. Thank you for checking out the shorts. Thank you for go get yourself some merch. I sold a couple NWP shirts that I'm really happy about. Go represent that New World podcast. Represent C Plus Studios. Get that true Sexy Ninja mascot of ours, created by Katie. Nothing but love and respect to anybody and everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for, even though I don't sound I sound like I'm really out of it, because I am really out of it. But go check out the show, NXT, March 28th, 2023. It's a damn good time, and I had a good time. And now let's get to Stand and Deliver. Thank y'all. Nothing but love and respect. I think I already said that. See, Jesus Christ, KMB. Now, tell me what you thought of the show, okay? What you love, what you hated, all that good stuff on NXT. Okay. Now, Share it with your grandma. Share it with your grandpa. Share it with the bum down at Walmart. I am KMB, the Sexy Ninja, and as always, the New World Podcast is for life, brother.
My anxiety is crippling, but I can't run away from it. I have to confront it. And the only way that I can do that is by facing it head on.